Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack and look at this one. So there is case of censorship from the past being pointed out by people and this is a threat that was shared by Senko Kurishita. So look at this. While researching freedom of expression, I came across the old incident where the activists of a group funded by a certain family, something like an organization to eliminate racial discrimination against black people, ended up causing various comics and pictures books to be taken off the shelves, have their content altered, or go out of print. It's like a nightmare of an event. So, yeah, like the historical revisionists and the way how they portray the blacks. Hmm, I wonder what kind of nose had to that certain group, that certain family. So, even seeing people sharing stuff like this because of that, the story of Little Black Sambo, which was out of print for a while, is now normally available for purchase. Anyone can buy it on Amazon and elsewhere. In other words, a book that has no problem being published or bought and read was falsely accused of being discriminatory book and was out of print for a while, right? And if you see the image, you get the idea why that certain group of activists were so bitchy about it. And it's an old one, it seems. And then on other post here, yeah, pointed out which book was. I got news for you. This is not the first time other countries have portraying like this. Only because Japan is Asian and white doesn't mean that other countries didn't actually portray the, in that interpretation. I don't know if they are doxing, but you have even other characters that are dark skin that are so like it. But nah, they were more hating this type, and in this one being shared by Ayatsuji Yamamoto. I too was caught in the frenzy of that movement back then, and the editorial department. So this one even is at source level. Yeah, they were demanding censorship at source level. So continue on. The editorial department asked me to remove the tone from the skin of the Indians, the Jin's subordinates, and others in the India arc of Mayomori series Sinbad, making their skin white. Reluctantly, I compiled it, and the tankobon volumes ended up with the white skin. It was an era that didn't feel sane. And even, Indians, why you want to portray Indians as white? They are not white, they'll never be white, they are dark skin. At this point, they are just going to portray them as how they are seeing them, their interpretation. But yeah, you know how it is this grief of racism. Um, well, continue on. Hay componente attaccano già that Hiko's skin in the bottom right isn't changes his irregular character. But well, this guy was referring to primarily of the Indian culture. So they did his interpretation. At least if he did his research, well, it has to be judged to the one consuming this creation. But the fact that they forced it, oh no, you cannot portray them like that. But why? Even in the India, they're doing that interpretation. So they were doing this like erasing of blacks. You know how we have seen how they want to raise white people, but like they tried to push that one in the past, but only because they saw certain interpretations. And yeah, it's censorship at the end of the day. Even on this one, let's see. Only those who experience the sorrow of crazy relations back then can truly understand, right? I remember that the editors were extremely sensitive to discriminatory or potentially discriminatory expressions and words. Discrimination is just a watering word nowadays. We have seen how they can weaponize that single word to take advantage of a situation and promote dog shit stuff like, well, look at Japan with all the immigrants, all manufacturer, full betrayal of the Japanese government. But well, at this point, We have seen those cases in Europe and in the US, and other countries as well, such as Argentina, where Argentina, the most of the country is white, but they face problems with illegal immigrants because, same fucking activists that approach it with the same way of, oh, my racism, and yeah, it happened. It happened, not only in first world countries, in other ones that turn in third world countries, but still had people like that, and they only see racism but as a push to an agenda. Yeah, this is something that was brought by Kurishita-san. So the unreasonable changes forced on manga artist Atsushi Yamamoto as part of an anti-discrimination movement in early 90s. So yeah, historical revisionism has been happening for quite a while. It looks like from all of this issue that started with the screenwriter of Bocchi the Rock actually make more people speak out about this. They're finally losing that filter. Yeah, fuck that filter. When it comes to censorship, call it out. Hey, they did this change. They did this change. Hey, they removed this. They forced me to do change that. It's like that even I was just doing my own stuff. Yeah, this fucking nonsense needs to stop. And this is just an example that, of course, is just a single one of other countries. So this one has been well known for quite a while in Latin America because the one that created this comic in the West was a female Mexican. Yeah, in the 40s. So this shit is fucking old and was a long running franchise for decades. It stopped after 2010s. But yeah, it was very well discussed. Yeah, it was like they push it like an Afro Mexican, so that woman portrayed certain stuff, and of course, uh, you could say she tried to portray her version of racial discrimination, but also well the problems with bad parenting. As I remember some of the gags that they were sharing on social media, but even me mentioning this is not like the first time they have portrayed blacks in their own interpretation. And if this was their interpretation, well, deal with it. They if they are perceiving them in a way, look, even how they portray Mexicans in certain media is stereotypical at this point. Yeah, the only ones that want to claim, oh, the racists are sensitive. They want to speak out for others. It has been like that for decades. This fucking activist wants to speak for others and use them as a weapon to push their agenda. And we have seen that, oh, you have to tone this down. Think of all your racist stuff. The ones that claim that, oh, it's racist. At the end of the day, end up with the most racist pieces of shit that have ever stepped on earth. Oh yeah, this is something that I want to share on because and this censorship, this revisionism has always happening because you have this fucking extortionist groups. I'm going to call it that. They're fucking criminals. They want to extortionate people through fear to change stuff they don't like. Despite that, yeah, it even is something fictional, such as manga or comics in the West. They don't want the oh no, we cannot allow to do that. And also promoting one of the most retarded political nonsense we have ever seen. And even the comments like this. This goes to show the anti-discrimination movement around the world do not serve to actually erase discrimination, who actually promote discrimination through manipulation of social values. Exactly. A better word saying here. And the result is more discrimination being normalized by those leftist groups. That's what they are achieving goal. Yeah, guilty. You should be ashamed of yourself and all of that bullshit. Nah, fuck you, fuck you. Yeah, no, nobody's falling for that shit anymore. And if they are going back with those interpretations of blacks or Mexicans or third world countries, people, whatever, depending if the content is good or not or is entertaining, is what people is going to care. And even if they're taking elements that you could say, well, that's like a, a low hit, but well, that was very well landed. Whatever. In the past, people were not that sensitive, but that's the problem with these fucking activist groups. They wanted to do desensibilization of fictional content by ignoring real life issues and allow real life issues to escalate to the problems we're seeing today. So that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.